So you know you want a career in real estate. Do you want to make sales or do you want to manage properties? A question I get asked all the time. I'm Colby Kinggard. I work at EagleRock Realty and Property Management, and I'm here to help you answer that question. Area number one, and the one that I get asked about more frequently than any other, is the income, the pay. How much money am I going to make? While it's true that with a sales job, your ceiling for pay is significantly higher, with a job in property management, it's more consistent. So which one do you choose? To summarize, I'd like to put it like this. You pay for consistency. So let me explain. Most likely by the end of your real estate career, you will have made more, of course, determining your drive, the number of sales you've made, your commissions, all of that. It really comes down to what's more important to you, consistent pay or probably higher pay. Don't hear me wrong, sales is not a guaranteed higher paycheck. In fact, I'd say most people probably don't make it in sales for more than a year or two, either because of life circumstances or the fear of chasing commissions, whatever that might be. Whereas property management, yes, the pay is more consistent, but you have to be okay with working with other professionals who might be selling in the same industry as you, making significantly more. It depends on what you're looking for. However, I have to caution anybody watching this video that if the only thing that interests you about property management in real estate is the consistent pay, don't do it. Consistent pay doesn't necessarily mean it's something you'll be good at or that you'll enjoy, which brings us to point number two, your skill set. Sales and property management, although they are both in real estate, have two drastically different requirements for skill set. Here's an example. A salesperson needs to be okay with spontaneity. They need to be okay with ups and downs, a roller coaster of whether it's the market or their sales. They need to be overly charismatic and salesy at every turn. Whereas someone in property management, they need to have a level of organization, I would say more intense than a salesperson, because a lot of times it's not just about maintaining your contacts or maintaining a timeline on a sale. It's also dealing with at what frequency do I need inspections done? Who's delinquent in rent by how much? What's my time frame to get that done? Don't get me wrong, both of them require organization and time management, but different kinds of time management. A sale you can start, complete, be done with in a month's time. Whereas with property management, your start to end can be an entire year. So that's a year's worth of communication with an owner, communication with a tenant, maintenance of a property that you have got to deal with. Whereas in sales, that time frame on what you need organized for that particular deal is much shorter. In property management, you're going to be a lot more likely to log onto a computer every day, check your delinquencies, check inspections that are outstanding. You're going to be looking for people that need to renew their leases. You're checking on properties that are going to be vacating soon, so you need to market them. Whereas in sales, when you log on, you're on the hunt, you're searching, you're looking at data for your next sale. Although they both have some admin work involved, they are very different. But just because you're good at something doesn't necessarily mean you enjoy it. So that brings us to point number three, and that's personality and preferences. Now, I'm not saying that one size fits all when it comes to sales or property management. There's a variety of different people with different preferences and personality types in either one. I'm just speaking to what I see work the most or fit the best in either category. In sales, more often what I see is not just the desire, but the need to be charismatic with almost everyone you come across. You've got to make a good impression. You've got to make sure that you are top of mind whenever possible, so that when the time comes for them to make a sale, something real estate involved that is probably not at the forefront of their mind or their lives in any way, you come to mind. Property management still has some of that, but I think I would argue that it doesn't require as much charisma. It still requires networking, of course, but I would say it requires more results. It requires creating a name for yourself. Maybe it's the number of listings showing on a rental site that are from you. Maybe it's clients speaking about how happy they are with your work. Clients that are investing in properties, they network really well together. Word of mouth goes a long way in both sales and property management. But you've got to be okay with chasing the next sale to be content with a career of sales. You've got to be all right knowing that you're not sure where your next paycheck will come from, but it could be really high and you're going to chase that. Property management, it's easy to lose track of these things. So you need to have the personality that it drives you nuts when one thing is out of order. If one agreement, one lease, one contract was signed even slightly off, that needs to bother you because you know that that could have drastic ramifications going forward. Now, yes, that's partially true with sales, but we're just talking personality here. In sales, you can afford a little bit more leniency. Now, I'm not saying, disregard all of the laws and regulations, of course not. I'm just saying when it comes to sales, you've got a little bit more wiggle room, so to speak. Whereas in property management, every work hour you spend has a direct consequence on what's getting done and what's not, and you have clients to report to on a monthly basis, maybe even more frequently. Clients that you're going to report to time and time again, hopefully for years to come. So you're kind of under a microscope in property management at all times, versus in sales with that particular client, you might be under a microscope for a few months' time, depending on how frequently they purchase with you, especially if it's not an investor. Looking towards future ramifications brings us to point number 4, and that's your goals. What do you want? What are you hoping for out of a career in real estate? When it comes to goals, a property manager might say, how much income do I want streaming in by the end of this year? A salesperson might say, how much money do I want to make this year? Those are two different kinds of questions, two different kinds of goals. I believe that one fits better for sales, and this one fits better for property management. Now, I know some of you might be screaming at your screens going, well, I do both, or why can't I just do both? And the answer is, well, you can. You can do both if you'd like. In my experience, if you keep both of your businesses, so to speak, they're both a different business, keep them both small, then you could. I would say you need to have a smaller rental portfolio and make less sales. But let's hope for the best here. Let's say you're doing really well, either at one, the other, or both. If you're doing really well at sales, you're knocking it out of the park, there's a good chance your portfolio starts to lose some of your attention. If you're accumulating a ton of properties and bringing a lot of them into your portfolio and you're making less sales, then at that point it's like you might as well just stick to doing a sale every now and again versus looking for it. My advice is don't try to be a jack of all trades. Find your strengths, dig into it, pick one or the other, and go be the best you can be. Remember, it's not all about the money, it's what you're good at and what you enjoy, what you could see yourself doing long term. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm totally wrong, or maybe share your experiences in sales or property management. If you want more, check out our channel. Thanks.